proud of her. Hoshimachi Suisei, the top V singer in the world, started from zero and now stands at the Budokan, the dream stage she declared on day 1, 7 years ago. My schizophrenic ass was screaming and bawling over a blue woman. We'll get into specifically this concert in detail after some backstory. At a young age, Suisei wanted to be an idol who shone brighter than anyone else on stage, so she applied for many in real-life idol agencies. She was very swiftly rejected. The reason? She was a jack of all traits, but master of none. This didn't stand out. She would be very hard to market. Not wanting to let go of the idol dream, Sui-chan took a very different route, VTubing. Surely an online space would let her show off her skills. Surely the jack of all trades things wouldn't come to bite her in the ass again, right? That aside, we have more pressing issues. Actually, well, starting to be a VTuber. Sui-chan was poor. She did not have the money to commission anyone to rig her model, draw backgrounds, let alone design her base character. So Suisei did everything by herself. Yes, everything. From designing to drawing to modeling, everything. She just watched tutorials on YouTube and learned it by herself. Some softwares like Live 2D from complete scratch. And so, in 2018 March, Hoshimachi Suisei made her debut on YouTube and made a daring declaration in her very first video.
私の夢なんですけど、最終的には武道館でライブをすることです。
With this fantasy pipe dream in mind, Sui-chan started her journey as an indie VTuber, and this proved to be far more difficult than expected. The workload of having to brainstorm, record, and edit videos weekly while juggling part-times to keep her bank account above zero was hell on earth. She was too broke to hire editors either, so when she made songs, she had to edit the MVs by herself. Actually, more like she was so broke, editing MVs for other VTubers was like a part-time of hers. Anyway, her efforts gave birth to her very first original song, Comet, a song about how she will shine brighter than anyone one day. Remember this. She was barely rewarded for this though. Over the course of the year, she got around 6,000 subscribers. Not bad for an indie, but nowhere near enough to give any financial support and a far cry from that Budokan dream. Completely burnt out and at the brink of defeat, Sui-chan realized she had to change something. Just churning out videos like this forever wasn't going to work. To ease her workload and expand her channel growth, she sought to join an agency. But due to her stubborn nature, this didn't exactly go very well. See, in this industry, when a VTuber applies to a corporation, they're usually required to abandon their old identity for a new face, design, and model. This is so that the new VTuber can be tied to the corporate's brand, and probably so that they can own the full rights to the character. Sui-chan, however, was a stubborn blue woman. She had worked her ass off for the past year under the name Hoshimachi Suisei and had built a small yet extremely loyal fanbase to her. She didn't just want to throw that all away, she didn't want to betray those fans that loved her so much. And so she insisted on keeping the name Hoshimachi Suisei. As expected, she got rejected by everything she applied to. You could say it was her fault for not following industry standard. I mean, I think most people would be willing to throw away their 7,000 subscriber channel to be fully backed by a corporate, but the other reason she got rejected, particularly by hololive, was, get this, she was a jack of all trades. You think I'll be marketable if I just break my own arm? By the time she had released her second original song, Suisei was basically on the verge of giving up and quitting. The work was too much, she was burnt out, and the future of her channel looked bleak. Yet she could not compromise on herself. On Suisei, this stubbornness, loyalty to herself would eventually pay off. In a last-ditch effort, Sui-chan decided to reply to hololive's rejection email. And, well,
でも頼むよもう一回ちょっと話し合いしてみませんかだったら私全然なんか妥協とか全然するんでもう一回ちょっとお話しませんかねみたいなもう一声ってやったら
we did it! Entering hololive, things finally seemed to get better. Things did not get better. her. To be specific, Sui-chan entered a music branch of hololive called Idonaka Music. This sounded amazing on paper, as Sui-chan's goal all along was to be an idol. But the cracks started showing. See, this branch was originally meant to be for Azuki only. Sui-chan was literally only thrown in last second because she begged. Most likely for this reason, Sui-chan was completely neglected. Staff would refuse to help her with her covers, new original songs got cancelled, new models got delayed, she got zero singing or dancing lessons, and just like old times, she basically had to do most of the stuff by herself. She did get some growth from the exposure, but nowhere near what one would expect from joining a big corpo, as, well, she was the weird kid in a relatively unknown side branch. Sui-chan was destroyed and demotivated. If not even the biggest VTuber company could help her, who could? Amongst this defeated state of wanting to quit but not wanting to give up, Sui-chan confided in A-chan, a renowned staff at hololive, there since the very beginning of the company, about her frustrations. A-chan said, "I huff and I puff and I blow your problems away." Sui-chan would soon be transferred to the main branch of hololive. This is now the explosive rise of Hoshimachi Suisei. Suisei finally got all the support she needed, and even a new updated model made for her. At the same time, this was the beginning of COVID, exactly when hololive itself was starting to blow up. Combine this with Suisei's insane singing skills and jack of all traits, and you have the recipe to success. Her singing and karaoke streams were definitely what she was most known for, but her skill and determination to learn new things and get good was something else. She was a Tetris god, and for a big hololive Mario Kart tournament, she essentially trained and destroyed everyone. She was also a professional psychopath. Guys, look! I swear the jack of all trades thing is good. See? Sui-chan was literally getting tens of thousands of subscribers every month. Her concurrent live viewers skyrocketed. Her third single got millions of views and won a goddamn award. In just 1.5 years, Sui-chan went from a side branch NPC to fucking 1 million subscribers, with a widely known reputation as one of, if not the best singer in hololive. This reputation spread like wildfire. And this is where most of the documentary videos I could find end, as they were made years ago. Huge shout out to Yiman for this amazing documentary, and Abudage115 for this montage of Suisei's journey. Check them out. But what wasn't told is how explosive Suisei's future growth would come to be. Blue Star Woman started getting everything. Song after song after song, high production concerts, live viewer numbers higher than my bank account, and eventually started holding in real life concerts, like hologram concerts, at real venues. All her big originals would be in the tens of millions of views, and at this point, it really felt like Sui-chan was the face of V-singers. She did, however, go through a throat problem and eventually had to take a hiatus to get throat surgery. The reason for this was that cutesy voice she'd been using for so long was very bad for her throat. I would know because singing like a lolly femboy destroyed me. Understandably, Suisei was extremely anxious. I mean, her voice is quite literally her whole dream and career. When she returned, she underwent a huge voice change, going from the cutesy kind of idol voice to a much deeper, cool girl voice to not strain her throat. This was extremely well received, to the point where I think many people now just forget she ever even had the cutesy voice. I agree though, it fits her cool image so well and just suits her power-styled singing voice. Sui-chan's worries proved to be futile when she would be the first VTuber in history to be invited onto The First Take, a prestigious channel where hit artists get one take to showcase their talents. Her premiere on the channel broke records and cemented her as the household name for V-singers, as well as cementing our tear glands. But it wasn't even over. The peak came in 2024, with the release of Bibidiba, the second VTuber song in history to break 100 million views, only behind the lolly masochist jail song. At this point, Sui-chan was mainstream. She wasn't just popular in the VTuber or weeb sphere. People in Japan just knew her the same way Americans know Taylor Swift. Her company's dream was to be like the idol group AKB48, and now she has the entire AKB48 as her backup dancers. She's literally the poster girl of a huge department store now. She's on national TV. It's crazy. Her first live tour was announced, the first ever in hololive history, and after a huge successful tour, the big moment was to come. Hoshimachi Suisei, Budokan Live. The Budokan is the dream stage for every artist in Japan. The reason being its extremely rich history. The first rock band to perform there was the Beatles. Yes, these guys. Followed by a series of extremely well-known names. You know, like Led Zeppelin, Queen, Taylor Swift. This is not a venue you can just pay to rent. You have to handwrite an application and the committee will only approve the most deserving of artists who have shown their talents. So being able to perform on this stage is a symbol of sorts. That yes, you have made it. It's like performing in Madison Square Garden in America. And as the second VTuber in history and the first from hololive to do so, Suisei had made it. That dream 7 years ago, when she had 1,000 subscribers, had come to life. In fact, Suisei actually talks about how in the meetings, they basically decided on a tour because if it was just a solo Budokan live, the venue would be way too small for all her fans to watch her. What is this flex? Being worried that your lifelong dream venue is too small? Our blue girl really made it. So, about the concert. Unfortunately, like many, I lost the rigged-ass lottery, so I had to watch the stream from home. But, oh, I think I broke a few things. Warning, the following section is literally a fanboy screaming about his experience on his channel because he has no friends to share with. That is all. So. The concert starts out pretty normal, like performing the songs of a new album. The lighting, motion capture, camera angles, you can tell they've stepped it up. Absolute cinema. But here's where the tear glands come in. They start playing a montage from her humble beginnings to how she grew year by year, all the milestones she achieved one by one, and at the end, rewind to one single line from her first video.
私の夢なんですけど、最終的には武道館でライブをすることです。
Then the stage turns into a beautiful orbital comet and Sui-chan starts singing Comet, her very first original in her remade original outfit. You know, the one she designed herself, and the song is, you know, the one she sang back then about how she will shine brighter than anyone one day, and for everyone to look at her. The catharsis to see someone sing their original indie song on their dream stage is just she even cried mid-song. Understandable. If I'm bawling, imagine what she feels. What does it feel like to see your dream come to fruition like that? Then, the next song follows, Stellar Stellar, a song about how much she struggled in the past, and as much as she's big or viral now, she's just the same as us. She's not special. She's just someone who gave it her all with her own hands and wanted her voice to reach people. Ah! I wanna be like her! And then we're followed by Next Color Planet, the first song she had that won an award, and I think was many fans' first introduction to Sui-chan, as it came out just when she first started to blow up. Finally, we end this streak with a new song, Orbital Period, a song about how throughout her journey, she dealt with so many doubts and considered quitting so many times, especially when she had to get throat surgery and went on hiatus, but she couldn't bear the thought of giving up. She couldn't bear making her fans sad, so she went on, and well, here we are, at the top of the world. Out of any celebrity, famous person, YouTuber I've seen, Suisei genuinely has the most inspirational story to me. She dealt with so much garbage, so many bad cards. She announced some pipe dream on her very first video, and with so much hard work, she really made it happen. She crawled her way here from the bottom. It's indescribable with words. But it's not over. Suisei is just starting to go viral, to go mainstream, and she just announced her new goal, Tokyo Dome, the biggest venue in Japan. I believe in her, and you know I'm getting the ticket this time. Guys, meet up when it happens. Once the girl that looked up at the stars, she now is the star that so many look up to. Countless people make covers of her incredible songs, and she's even revered by her own colleagues, some of them having the same Budokan dream she once had. Promoted in Shibuya Square, endless collabs, and having her face plastered everywhere, it's doubtless to say that this once dreaming indie is standing where she's always adored to. If this story shows anything, it's that classic fairy tale of hard work and determination bringing success. Nowadays, people always like saying how unfair the world is, how hard work doesn't matter sometimes, or how the successful people are always the ones who are handed good cards in the first place. But how does that help you? How are you gonna get anywhere if you don't even have the tenacity to try and persist. If SUISEI'S had given up at any of those harsh points and just blamed the world, she would never have seen the sight she sees right now. It's not that SUISEI'S is special, she just worked all the way up there by not giving up. And hey, if you're a fan, then you can too.